Gentlemen, how we doing?
What's up?
Cavy, Jordo.
Blessings
Great,
all day, man.
It's a pleasure to have you guys on, for real.
Great to be here. Thank you very much, brother.
Fucking
Yeah, man.
Let's get after it.
For real, you guys have done so much on PEI, and I think you guys have kind of showed a lot of PEI artists, the way to go with different stuff and promotion, and inspired a lot of us. So I appreciate you guys for that.
Oh man, it's our fucking pleasure to be here, bro. It's so sick. It's fucking independent shit.
So take me back to how you guys met and started going into business together.
Oh man.
You want to take that one?
Yeah, I want to go with this one. This is funny as fuck, actually. So I had a group before, named BFRG, Babyface Rebel Gang.
That's dope.
When I first started rapping, it was 2011, and Spivvy was in it. Shout out to Spivvy.
D9K back
D9K, the 902 kid. Go by.
D9K?
Yeah, sorry,
That's
bro.
I gotta tease him.
That's good. That's good, man. As you know, we all started from somewhere, right?
Yeah, but anyways, I did music with them for a while, and we went on this little tour. It was barely a tour, through these guys in Fredericton. We're cool with them now, but some beef started to happen between me and these dudes in Fredericton, and they were we're kind of going at it on Facebook, and Buddy was being a dick. And anyways, he knew this guy, and
I was friends with him. Actually,
yeah.
I used to manage his band I don't know, 15 years ago or something, 10, 15 years ago.
Yeah, and
First time.
he kind of reached out to me, and he was kind of out of sympathy, honestly, my talent was not there.
Yeah.
But
I saw something.
he saw something.
And sorry, how old were you at this point?
I would have been
16,
17.
Oh shit, this is way back. Yeah, okay, cool.
16, 17
I was
years old.
early 20s.
Yeah.
And you guys didn't know each other at this point?
Not really.
Okay, yeah.
Kind of met, we had a lot of mutual friends.
Yeah.
High school that he went to, I had friends. I went there and I kind of played in bands with them because I came up from playing in bands pretty much. And through mutual friends, we actually ended up meeting at a party one time.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah,
And then some of the friends said that they thought we should work together in some capacity because we both had work ethic in it.
That's solid, man.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, and basically he hit me up one day, and that night or whatever that was happening, it was listen, I think about doing this management thing, I'd love to meet up with you, and
That's dope.
And then we did that following weekend, and the rest is history from there.
Damn.
Man. Yeah, it's even him, a lot of people are man, Jordo does so much. I wish I had someone like him, but people don't fucking realize with him, when he started doing really taking management serious, he he didn't know it all. You know what I mean?
No.
He didn't just have these skills. He had to kind of really
Develop.
You can't find it. You can't learn it in a book. You have to learn it through experience.
He
Yeah.
had experience for shit. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I know you're good.
But,
Yeah, you're good.
it's true though. It's a lot of people just think it was just magic. He just gets it. Well, no. The only reason he gets it is because he's put in so much fucking time.
For
I
real,
don't
though.
even say I got it either because I feel the last 2 or 3 years is where it really became a serious thing for us and where it really elevated, because before that it was I knew how to book a show and I knew how to run ads on Facebook and shit, but
Yeah.
I knew how to put on a show and whatnot and tours and things like that, but really learning how to develop an artist that takes time.
Yeah.
It took us a long time. We've been at it for it was 2014, so
Yeah, man.
it's a long
9
time.
years. Well.
So many, you go through so many transitions as a human, right? And to my skills, as a rapper, man, a lot of people always say, why don't you fucking release shit? Why don't you release? So back in the day, at least, why didn't you release more shit? And it's just man,
Wasn't there.
It wasn't there. And I think us as artists, and that goes for everyone in this room, I think when we listen to ourselves, we will be our hardest critic, but we can be a little oblivious to certain things, a lot of the time, our first shit we make, it don't sound good.
Yeah. No, never.
You regret it, man. You're gonna regret it because I've been there, and unfortunately, it's good to have songs that you release and you can look back on and look how much you progressed. But unfortunately, artists, I find, we're very fucking scatterbrained. We want the quick gratification. We need to release, and it's man, eventually, if not to sound callous, if you drop a bunch of shitty tracks, you know what I mean? Especially when you come from a place where
First impressions are lasting.
You get known as a shitty
man.
artist.
It's gonna stick with you, and I've watched this happen with several artists from around the East Coast who, they got to be pretty good, but they're fucking hundreds of old shit that they put out. Just follow them.
For real, though.
Follow them, man.
And not always people want to
Not
see
always,
progression, but I feel you should be ready to put, if you're gonna put your first stuff out, be ready to get that criticism, whether it's good or bad, because if you get the bad shit, it might discourage you, right? And if you put out stuff that's quality, hopefully that'll keep you on the right path, I think.
It's so,
Absolutely.
and you have to develop such a thick skin. You
Yes.
get to a point where you're like, oh, you think my song's shitty?
Oh well.
You know, like I've heard that.
Man, I'll tell you the craziest thing once.
Right before you tell me that, though, I want to fix your microphone.
Okay, cool.
Just to make sure you're going to the front.
Yeah, for sure.
Anyway, sorry to cut you off.
The craziest thing was like I
No,
remember
yours good,
like,
yeah.
like growing up, like I was like went to Bluefield country area and shit like that, but like spent a lot of time in town and shit like that, doing stupid hood rat shit. But I remember like my first real like I wouldn't even call it criticism. It was fucking something. But I was out with my grandmother one time at the mall, and I'd spend time with her. Love you, nanny. But anytime we were just anyways we were out at the mall one time, and we were leaving. I was lighting up a cigarette, and we were gonna get in the car, and these two dudes, nowhere to lie, they're looking at me. They're like, "Fuck you, faggot!" Blah blah blah.
Wow.
That. Like, yeah, like you think you're a rapper? Pull your fucking pants up, right there in front of my grandma, bro. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? I was like, damn. And like I was scared shitless as a kid, but like dead ass, that happened, man. I was like, oh my god, this is wild.
And how old were you?
I would have been grade 11, so I would have been 15, 16 years old. Yeah.
Oh, was this right, y'all, on PEI?
Yeah, bro. Like I faced a lot of that kind of shit.
That's
man.
a quotable, by the way. No F-bombs to be dropped here.
Yeah.
Yeah, just quotable. Yeah.
Don't cancel me. My career's just getting started. Man. But seriously, like, you know, then that I keep it 100, man. Like I remember that, like. And like I faced like many things like that, and mainly like starting like when I just started like that shit would never happen nowadays. You know what I mean? People like are a little more.
Once you get out of high school, I feel like people become like adults, like a little bit, like they like
Yes.
Bro, I tell you, like there's I could sit here and do all kinds of sob stories. Like there was so many moments rapping and when I first started doing music that was fucking embarrassing.
Yeah.
You know, like people, like I remember one time at a party and it was so embarrassing. One of my first tracks I ever did in grade 9 with my friend Logan. He don't even rap. He's a fucking carpenter, bro. He just rapped once. But this is like talking about it following you. We made it like our first rap song or whatever, and it was fucking horrible. People had downloaded it from like 4 years before or 4 years.
They want to
after.
expose your ass.
They put it on at the fucking party.
But some people loved it though too, right?
Not then though. People then were
later.
later. Like then it was like oh man, so much.
They were poking fun at you, really.
Yeah, bro. Like it was bad, man.
We all
got
go
bad.
through it, but yeah.
You know, like I remember.
White rap from PEI coming up.
Yeah,
of course.
Me and BT Flow, man, we used to like legitimately. It was like people come around and like throw shit at us at the car, and there was always like fights and shit. It was wild, bro.
Insane, bro.
True. This is the PI you haven't heard about.
That's the semi-dark side of it, I guess.
Yeah, man. Like
not quite there yet.
It was fucking
Exactly.
shitty. Like the first like 6 years, man. Fucking sucked ass, bro.
And you need that because like that develops you. You know what I mean?
And like to be clear, this wasn't like an everyday thing. But
it still happened.
The 5 to 10 things that happened, they were enough. Like where I feel like you can say whatever the fuck you want to me now. Like now that I went through that, I don't give a fuck. You can say you don't like my fucking music and all this, and I'm a white boy from the island and this, that, and the third.
Yep.
Doesn't matter.
I don't give a shit. You know what I mean?
Real.
Like I've been through the ringer with the fucking comments and people being like pretty shitty. You know what
It's so true, man. I had a similar thing where like through middle school and stuff like that, I went to like Queen Charlotte and Colonel Gray.
Yeah.
And you know, I was always the kid. Like I had a YouTube channel and would like tell people about it. And of course, I was fucking like 12, 13 years old. It was like the cringe shit, you know.
Yeah.
But then like I had to deal with that of just like. Of people like pulling up videos in class and shit like that and like whatever. Cause, like, but when you put yourself out there, that's what you get, right? Like
it is, and you gotta expect some of that.
100%. Right? And you need to, and it's important because then like, because I feel like when you first start out and you're not confident in your own craft yet, when someone says, I don't like this song or you could do this differently, even if it's constructive, you're not secure yet. So you're going to go, oh, that means I'm a bad artist. Exactly. But then once you are confident in yourself, like, you know, I'm at this point, I'm sure you're at this point where you're like, no, I know I'm a good artist. Like, I don't like.
Talent's valid. My talent, at least, I can speak for me and him. Like, it's been validated.
Oh, yeah.
For real.
Point,
100%.
I mean? Like, so it may not be me.
But it's cool to come from something like that because I think everyone goes through it to a different extent, right?
Yeah.
Some kind of negativity. We all have.
Kendrick Lamar got booed off the stage his first performance.
There you go.
Isn't that crazy?
Man.
Yeah, exactly.
He drops music, whatever he amount of years. He's
100%.
Like one of the goats for real. So.
And it kind of draws the question, like, do you need that reaction in order to be successful with it? Because if you do some stuff, like everybody's bad when they start out, right? Like your first picture you've drawn is bad. Your first sentence you tried to put together was terrible. Yeah, your first song is always going to be bad. And if you put that out and people lie to you and go, oh, it's great, then will you really grow?
No, you won't.
You need to
You won't. And like, yeah, that's important. I think like anything you do, you got to surround yourself with honest people, but people who are also looking out for like your, what's that word? Your best interest.
Well-being.
Your well-being. You know what I mean? Like you can't. I've found through the years, and he could attest to this. There may be someone who is a music head, and they'll be critiquing your shit. A lot of the time, these people don't have a fucking balance with their opinion. It's either too negative, or too just too critical. You know
I think that's the internet. I think the internet did that to us.
Man.
Yeah,
Like
It's an open speaking platform. You know?
yeah,
Say whatever you want on it, right?
I find that incredibly difficult, and I'm kind of like, I don't know if jaded's the word, but like, you got to be doing something that like, if you're gonna give me advice on something, like I need to see that it's actually worked for you in order for me to even fucking take it.
for real.
You know what I mean? And like, that's
Make it be
situational.
constructive too.
Yeah.
Like if you actually have good intentions to help someone, you're giving them feedback. Make sure it's constructive.
For real.
Yeah.
People hit me up all the time, want me to listen to stuff, or they want to do this or that, want my help with this or that. It's like I don't have a problem giving them constructive feedback. I've given it to people, and sometimes they ghost me and don't respond, but I've given it to others that love it, and they're like, this
For
is
real,
what I
though.
need to hear. So
For real.
Sure, man.
a lot of artists might not want to hear that because they're so invested in their craft and what they do, and maybe they don't want to hear the negative.
For real, though.
Sensitivity, exactly.
Yes,
But I think like constructive criticism is important when you start out, even when you're developing and getting to a more serious point too, because that's how you keep growing, I guess. So
Yeah, you need to be able to show it to somebody who will tell you it's good if it's good and bad if it's bad. And that's kind of with life in general. Like you need somebody that
Honestly.
you can go. I think I got this from Jordan Peterson, but you need somebody like a good friend is someone that you can tell them bad news, and they won't put it in your face. They'll actually feel that pain with you.
right, empathize.
Or you can tell, and also you can tell them good news, and they won't be jealous. They'll actually like be happy
That's
for
what
you.
we're good at, man.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We're very good at.
Real
I mean,
shit.
like
We're friends before music business or
for
anything.
sure, man. And like,
For real.
there's been plenty of times, man, in the beginning stages, like I'd be performing and like I had a bad set, and he'd straight up tell me, and I'd feel like shit, but he'd be like,
That's how you
"Listen,
get better.
it's not the fucking end of the world.
No.
It's
You know
one
what I mean?
time,
It's
right?
one time. It's one show, bro. This is not going to be your career. Like, you're not gonna. This isn't gonna be like the show of the century for you. You're gonna have
No.
hundreds, hopefully thousands more.
Yeah.
It's still a learning curve, and you need to fucking soak it in. And yeah, there's been plenty of
We got
moments
better
like
since
that.
then, right? Your
And,
live show is fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Straight up.
And I'm
unbiased.
and I don't even perform much. You know what I mean? Like so. Anyways,
Came a
yeah.
long way from
And
that.
that's important, right? You learn more from like the losses more than the wins,
Sure.
almost, right?
Always.
Yeah.
Always.
And at this
For real.
point, do you guys practice before shows? Any warm ups?
Definitely.
Yeah, we'll do like we'll just basically like
In the car?
Yeah, in the car rehearse. You know what I mean?
Pull
The best ones.
We'll make like a. We do everything together pretty much straight up. So it's just how we work, I think, mostly. So we'll make like a Dropbox folder, put all the songs in there in order. We got like performance mixes, and he'll go through and rap them and
That's good.
give a little bit of feedback here and there, and just fucking.
Yeah.
But with
Pretty-
the tour.
Yeah,
For the first
totally.
time, so we have a tour coming up. I'm sure we'll probably talk about.
Go
it.
buy your tickets.
Hell yeah,
Yes,
let's get
sir.
it. And for his debut album release, Energy State. But anyway, I'm not trying to plug that. But what I
Plug
want to
away,
say
man.
was- True.
Sponsored by Monster Energy.
Let's go. Love that. So our friend, our homie DJ Mollix is DJing this. He's a turntablist, crazy fucking dude, super talented. Anyway, he on this tour, we're actually gonna go. He's from Moncton. We're actually gonna go rehearse with him in his studio with his turntables.
That's dope.
Everything. We never really did a real rehearsal like that before. Like sound checks when you're at the venue. You got all the sound system's ready to go, but it's our first time doing like a real rehearsal with the DJ.
Yeah.
We finally got it.
Super important.
We got like an actual like
Be good.
show. Like it's
Yeah.
not just gonna be rapping, and people like we got actual shit that we want to do for
Actual production.
And actual
Man.
entertainment. Yeah.
There's such a big difference, and that's something that I actually, whenever I saw Classified live, that's something that I noticed is that
I'm glad that you say that because I say Classified for the last 5 years.
Incredible.
For real.
Every time.
So
because
entertaining, so fun.
it's not just like song. Like he was going on, he's playing like a Kendrick Lamar beat,
Yeah.
and then he was like, then he'd go and he'd talk about being a dad. Yeah, he did Tom Petty.
I love
Yeah,
that, man,
for real.
because, like what I like about that, and I learned a lot from Classified watching his shit. I come from like a classic rock, you know what I mean? Like
Same, yeah.
background, like
Me
my
too.
Same,
family,
yeah.
and like that's what we're like, drinking in the backyard, fucking shooting guns,
Cruising on the lawnmower.
cruising on a lawnmower, just doing
around.
fucking country hick shit.
Picking up the beer cans.
Yeah.
and-
Anyways, but like I associate a lot of that with like classic rock and like sex, drugs, rock and roll, like,
Yeah.
life. You know what I mean? And like a lot of my friends and family are super into that shit, and I think like you can. I feel like the Maritimes in general is very. They can relate to a lot of that shit. You know
For real.
what I mean? If that makes sense. I don't do drugs though. I just smoke and drink.
Those aren't real drugs.
Those aren't real drugs.
That's so true, though. It's part of the Maritimes. Like, even though we're not rock or country or any of that stuff, that's still like a part part of the culture.
For sure it is, man.
Especially PEI, especially PEI. You know,
It's
CBMF and everything.
You know, like it's yeah, 110%, man. Music is such a I don't even know the word for it. It's just like popular thing around here, I guess. I mean, everyone's involved in music in one way or another.
there's a lot of artists on the island.
There is a lot, man.
People don't realize
It's
that.
kind of
Yeah.
what we've been the last 5 years, really. What people do, I think. Like other
For
than
real.
going out drinking, like
Yeah.
local fishing hole. Because what else is there to do on PEI? Like small
Drink,
population.
fish, and rap. You know.
It's crazy, bro.
Hits a guitar
But,
a
like,
little bit.
For real.
I think like one thing like with PEI, man, like I think a lot of the artists need to start embracing where the fuck they're from. You know what I mean? And then you start really putting that out there, because I feel like if they always say like when J. Cole came out, it was like, oh, we put Carolina on the map. Well, it's like, well, everyone knows what Carolina. What's Carolina about? You know what I mean? And like when you listen to J. Cole, you can kind of hear a little bit of what it's about and what they're. He always talks about like being like he's honestly a country dude.
He's not like from Atlanta or something. He doesn't seem like that. Yeah. For real.
Carolina, right? Yeah.
Yeah, but like he always, I kind of relate to him because he's like a country dude, but like definitely I've had my fair share of street shit that I got involved in, and I
mix it into your messages, your lyrics and shit.
Yeah,
And it's funny how that's almost covered up on PEI, like as if people don't get murdered here, or there isn't drugs here.
Bro,
like it's almost like
I was on probation because I caught with a fucking handgun when I was in grade 9.
Damn.
Like, yeah, bro, like thought I was some little fucking thug, but no.
And you didn't even put it in a song?
I guess I put it in Dark Horse.
Okay,
but
not bad, not bad.
Older song.
But like,
Pre-COVID.
it's funny. Like growing up, like it's not like PEI's hood. I think Drake said something about Canada. It's not Compton, but it's definitely not like a fairy tale land either.
No, of course not.
You know what I mean? I've unfortunately
Things happen in the world everywhere. It's just the world, right?
Yeah.
It's the world,
You know
yeah.
what I mean?
Bad, terrible shit happening.
For real, though.
The fucking bridge,
You go looking for trouble, you're gonna find it anywhere. It don't matter how fucking safe where you're at, like or how safe your province is. Like there's trouble everywhere if you go looking for it. And like trouble, like I have friends that drug addicts. I have friends that are dead. You know what I mean? And I also have friends that have families and do really well for themselves. I have a friend who's a fucking millionaire. You know what I mean?
For
like
real.
it's such a. I have such a very diverse group of people that I've got around with. You know what I mean?
For real.
Like, I drink and smoke. He's sober as a fucking judge all the
Straight
time.
edge,
You know what I
right?
mean?
Yeah.
Straight edge. It's I'm ADD just kicking in, going from all.
No, man,
over the
it's-
fucking place,
But speaking
man.
of that, though, I just want to say rest in peace, Pat Stay.
Rest in peace,
Rip
Pat
Pat Stay,
Stay,
man.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Real one.
It's no other reason, just bringing up people, dead friends. So rest in peace, brother.
Yes, sir.
For real, man. Big loss for the community.
For sure, man. For
But
sure.
with what like you were saying before, it's really interesting how people will make that judgment of like, oh, you're from this place, therefore you've never been through anything or whatever, or like,
No one knows what you really
Bro.
do.
No.
It's your own life. You're the one that lives it. No one else lives it.
Yeah.
It's
People
true.
around you and see things, but at the end of the day, you're the one that lives it.
Yeah.
You're
For
the one
real.
that has to embrace everything you go through.
Yeah,
right?
and like I know people that from the suburbs have been through crazy shit,
There you go.
and they can't like it's
And
like
you
well you're not a victim, you're da 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 da, and
How do
like
you know, right?
and we've
At the end of
almost
that life, you can't say so, right?
we've almost
People can't say so.
we've got caught in like this like victimhood shit where it's like
That
We are from a safe place,
Yeah,
generally speaking,
absolutely.
but
of course like
anywhere, right?
yeah like if I'm talking to somebody who's from Haiti or something like that, I'm not gonna like try to like say that I know what they're from,
'cause you don't,
but it's
right?
like
You still have your own struggle that you went through.
the individual experience, right? Nobody like the human experience is a tough thing in general.
For
you know?
sure, man.
Even if you're living as a king,
Everything's situational, I think. Like,
Nobody's pain is bigger than another person's pain.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
there you go, man. You never know what someone's truly going through on the
You
inside.
never
right?
know. Yeah.
You don't. No, you don't. And that's
Good
just
and
it, man. I think I've been bad for that as an artist. Like I don't like. I don't even know like really what I'm trying to get
Not
at
speaking
here.
on it, or
Yeah, because I mean, like we're in such a time now with social media where everyone, like you said, the whole victim.
Yeah.
Man, you almost don't even want to like. You almost don't even want to speak on it because you're afraid someone's gonna be like thinking that about you, like,
Yeah.
or you're capping or whatever. It's similar
you're
to
just
like
using it just as a topic.
yeah, like
You
it's
don't really feel it.
crazy, man.
Go
Like
through it.
even like
Artists do that.
hopefully you'll catch my drift here, but like even like if you have like a friend or a family member that passed away, or mainly a friend or someone
Yeah.
you knew, and say you weren't best friends, but I know so many people that are too afraid to like click the share button on the obituary because they don't want to come off like I don't want to seem like I'm
Looking for
overstepping or
attention.
attention. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? I think like social.
We all
media,
go through that though, right?
Yeah,
It's
everyone
normal.
goes.
And it's fair because some people will try to use that for attention.
Sure,
Yeah.
bro, for fucking sure. And like,
Been there for
it's
sure.
a very difficult thing because you don't want to be roped in with that. But it's like, man, my fucking feelings about this are valid too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
I think
shit.
it goes both ways though. I think people also use depression, anxiety, and stuff as a way to capitalize because I've seen people do it. So I'm just putting it out there. Like I've seen artists like write music about that stuff, those topics. I don't know what they're going through personally, but they have also wrote shit that's on the other side of the spectrum. It almost feels like this was their way in to get their foot in the door with their fan base or whatever. I don't know.
For real, you're talking about.
I'm just bringing up. We're talking about mental health,
It's
right?
like it's like it's almost manipulative, like with people's emotions. Like it's almost like, and not necessarily that. I want to use like X as an example. Not that X necessarily did something wrong with his music, but he was so good at manipulating the emotion. Where if you listen to Everybody Dies in Their Nightmares or Jocelyn Flores, like they're like it's so good at just capturing the emotion. Like when you hit play, it's like your heart drops immediately. Or if you hear like one of his like Take a Step Back, it's like literally like cocaine in a song.
He captures like a feeling really well.
Yeah,
and that's so.
That's cool because I think there's a place for that. Like you can make music about those topics and maybe you didn't feel it because someone else can relate to that and find their own meaning in the song. But also I think certain people cap and they shouldn't. But I think X like probably went through a lot of shit.
Oh yeah, and
I think he did a great job.
Yeah, like my point.
Emotion,
Yeah, and like my point wasn't that he was like making it up or using his attention, but
for what I said earlier.
yeah, and I kind of conflicted that myself, but like but what I was gonna get to though was almost like the label or somebody in power could use somebody like that.
Oh yeah.
To manipulate their listeners.
For sure.
Where like I want you to put this energy in your music because it'll like even like I don't know if you guys have heard about this, but like how back in like the 80s and 90s the label owners for managing these rappers invested a lot of money into private prisons.
Oh really?
And then they encouraged the rappers to put in subject matter into the songs.
Lyrics that encourage
like people that were in the prisons. Like,
This is-
music they could relate to. Or?
No, so them encourage more people to commit crime and go to prison so they would make money.
Right, like to make music to.
It is, man. It's fucked, man. It's like modern slavery. So
That's slavery.
it is. It 100% is, man.
Fuck, this world's insane.
It's fucked, man. Like it's oh man. So like
Hear about like I don't know if this is the right pronunciation, posthumous or whatever releases like artists that passed away. The label obviously owns the rights, so that shit going on, like them making like a buck, a lot of bucks. Off.
yeah,
That's
for real though.
too, but
It's very sad. And
you
then
go to the family, like if that family birthed you and you passed away, there's no reason why they shouldn't see the benefit. Obviously, there's a lot of copyright and law and stuff involved in that, but that family is your kin or whatever next to
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So. Just kind of, I think that stuff's fucked personally.
it's so true. It's like I feel like if the artist already had an album like ready or almost ready, then put it out like how they did like Mac Miller's Circles. I think that was great. But like then you have like
years later milking it though. I feel like
yeah,
it's a contract.
it's so true
probably. Though. Just sad to see.
Yeah,
you're benefiting off someone's likeness, someone's name when really their family should because their family's one that lost them
for real.
And has to suffer from that more than anyone.
Yeah, and like the artist doesn't get
already made their money back times X.
100%. And the artist doesn't get a say in what goes in the album at all.
Exactly.
Like Pop Smoke, whenever he did his albums, he'd have 1 or 2 features on the album. He kept a pretty like closed circle. Then his next, they put the posthumous album out. They have like 10 guys. Like they got like
just to run the numbers up, run the royalties up.
Yeah, 100%.
Run the bank up, right?
Yeah, they got like Kanye on his album. They got like everybody, man.
Exactly. Wouldn't have had it before. And like you said, he didn't sign off on that. The label gets it too. And then they're just making the dollars.
For real. And then with X, his posthumous album, like they're really taking voice memos and putting them out as songs.
That's fucking.
Like
I think at the end of the day, like as a business, you want to make money, but you need to have morals and you need to do the right thing.
Yeah,
that's how I see it.
Gotta
Obviously,
be
there's
ethical.
obligations, but
Yeah,
it's just sad that labels have to do that. Just really, I mean, they can say it's for whatever reason to honor whoever. Maybe they truly feel that way, but probably it's for money. You can't assume.
Oh, it's 100% for money.
Man.
All for money. If it wasn't,
you gotta have morals and do the right thing.
Yeah, man.
That's how I. That's
and it's true, and there should be laws protecting that.
I
But
agree with you. That's really
I
important,
can
bro.
see
That's
that being a thing in the future more.
It should be.
Yeah,
For real, though.
Be beneficial for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh yes.
It's tricky with this music business though, because it truly is like an evil business, and like
Fucking right.
you guys have done a lot of research into it. I'm sure you've come across it, right?
Oh, fuck, man.
Yeah.
Like, you have no fucking idea, bro. Like,
Yeah.
the amount of fucking people out there that will just scam you and, act like you're fucking
some money, I want to open up like a big ass, like an actual club
Yeah,
in
We
PEI.
don't really have any clubs, right?
Not at all, man. It's
The
all like
closest thing
fucking.
would be like the beer garden, I guess.
For real.
They
Not
got
even
golf.
really-
They got golf simulators in there now, bro. It's not even.
There you go.
That's what I was saying. They don't even do performances.
What? They have golf simulators?
Golf simulators,
That's
bro. Yeah.
They replaced the stage, yeah.
Jacks, man, they used to pop the fuck off.
Oh yeah,
It was good.
back in the day it was good.
Jax used to have a golf simulator.
No.
Well, beer garden used to be called Jack's. Jack.
Oh.
Yeah, before it was.
We did do an album release show there one time, and it was pretty good. There were like 130 people that came out.
Wow.
It's not bad. That was in 2000.
It's very good.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah, it was good.
That's
But
crazy.
that was like kind of in our more like, I mean, still in the party phase, but more in the party phase.
Yeah, we were.
Going out every fucking weekend. Even I was going out then. I mean,
Yeah, you were. A lot.
I'm gonna actually adjust your mic a little
yep. Do what you gotta do, brother. Get there.
Are we recording right now?
bit. We are back live, yeah. So we were talking about like labels and stuff earlier. I don't know if you remember
Yeah.
what you wanted to say,
I
but
think the conversation was like situations in music that have been negative or whatever, but I don't remember what the question was. Do you?
we were talking about like how first we were talking about how they bought up the private prisons and how they're trying to encourage that and how like they'll manipulate certain stuff and put out their own agenda kind of through it. Yeah,
Post-humanist
yeah,
releases and stuff.
for real, yeah.
But yeah, I think, it's just, at the end of the day, hopefully things will change. I think being an independent artist is the way to go.
100%.
I used to think that, the label was a route. We tried to go that route. We signed with a couple labels. Never actually
Really?
signed the paper, but we were technically on the roster. One in Halifax, one in Ottawa. Never worked out. The release
That's
didn't
great.
come out. We recorded a full release with the first label. Him and I were in Halifax for like a week. Had a bunch of songs, brought them, recorded them together. We all kind of produced it.
Are you able to? You're probably not able to say which one it was. Are you?
It was, I'll tell you, the album was called My Paranoid Mind.
Okay. Was that one of yours or a different artist?
Mine.
That was
Okay, that's dope.
This
Yeah.
was all him, yeah.
Dope.
That didn't work out because we got another offer from a bigger label. That didn't work out either. Just, I don't know, there were some complications in the kind of the background. So, but since then, we have gotten some offers from like digital distribution labels and things like that. We've gotten a few, but
Some very
we've kind
legit
of done for
people, yeah.
a couple labels that we thought would be a good fit. But what I've learned through the digital space is that I don't think it's necessary. We had a conversation about this
No.
earlier, and I just don't think you need it. You just need to figure out what your audience is and how you can reach that audience. And I truly think that, coupled with networking and like finding people within different communities that can actually help you grow and grow
Yeah.
with them, and figuring out your audience and how to reach them, finding the place to reach them. I think that's what it really takes.
Man,
as an
some guys sitting here hating on us in the comments. Shut up, he doesn't know what I'm talking about. He's talking about.
okay.
Fuck him.
Where's your million streams, motherfucker?
That's just my opinion on labels.
Yeah, it's true
I
though.
think
You
they
know.
have their place, but
Yeah, you're
now
right, though.
we're talking DIY labels, right? But major obviously is a different story. You get your advance, you get it put on a platform. Imagine signing to a major label, you're set for forever, right? You're gonna get your bread elsewhere outside of your publishing, your royalties, and you're gonna get put on to other opportunities that allow you to make money, merch, touring, etc. But sync. But yeah, so I think if you're with a major label, and that's a label that is credible, that's gonna push you and actually. If you want to be a major label or a major artist like on radio and stuff like that, obviously that is beneficial. Getting that kind of push.
Do you want to get on Jimmy Kimmel or something like that?
Yeah,
then
exactly. But if you're just like trying to do it as like a independent career, I think you don't need it. You don't need a label, and I think it's more beneficial not to have one and to not have to break off to more people.
For real though, and if you look at the old business model of it, it's changed so much. Like before, it was like you needed to put up the money to be able to print all of the CDs, get them all into stores.
Exactly. Distribution was
Exactly. Ship them.
was digital.
Yeah, ship the album all across the world. Like that would take a lot of money to put up. You'd need an institution like that. For
sure.
And
Oh my God, yes.
now it's like you don't really need it like that. Now it's just promo. Like
Sure.
if you know how to get yourself in front of a lot of people,
Exactly.
that's really
But
it.
I think it's about getting in front of the right people.
100%. Yeah.
That's what I've learned. And that's what really
That's-
pushed us.
Yeah, for real.
You could have a fucking wicked product, and if the right people ain't there to fucking.
If you're not reaching the right
Yeah.
people, they're not going to like your music, right?
No, right.
If you're in a niche genre, right? Like,
If Taylor Swift opened for Kodak Black, she'd get booed.
probably.
And if Kodak Black opened for her, he would get booed.
There you go. Right?
So-
you got to know your audience. I feel like certain artists can have more of a general, broad audience, but I feel like if you're making a certain kind of music that actually has like a big demographic, like a lot of people want to hear it, and you put yourself in those places where they're hearing it, that's what's worked for us straight up.
For real though,
And networking,
100%.
obviously, meeting artists that have like helped us elevate. And, you know, obviously you got to have good quality shit, but it all comes down to good quality music. But I think like knowing your audience and how to reach them is
bro.
not number one, but it's up there.
It might be number one, yeah.
Point for
It's up
us.
there.
That was a
For real.
turning point for us.
For real, and a lot of artists don't know what their demographic is. They don't know what kind of people would want to listen to them.
Yeah, you wanna know why? It's half the fucking artists. They don't know who the fuck they are.
Yeah.
You got to figure out who you are, what kind of music you want to make it, and what you're good at.
Yeah,
Straight up, if your music is subpar, even if you reach the right audience, like some of them will like it, but you can only go so far, right?
Yeah.
If you have like really good quality shit, like you're gonna have so much more to maximize off that to reach the right people, and just keep pushing that way and growing. And
For real.
but yeah, a lot of people don't know who they are and don't know what kind of music they want to make.
Yeah.
For real.
Like we had just like literally before here.
That's kind of why we're on this journey for so long, because you're young. He's 26,
I
right?
had
Still
Yeah.
pretty young.
transitions as in my
Went through a lot, and you find out who you are.
I was saying to him, like, you
Right
know,
about it.
and I think a lot of artists they gotta realize this. Like I said, I wish my music was more accessible. I wish I could make family friendly stuff like
Yeah.
Classified, but I can't. My
not
voice
your-
ain't there. It's not who I am. You know what I mean? I'm a grungy motherfucker. Or
Not
whatever.
really your story,
Yeah.
man.
It's not really my story,
Yeah.
bro. You know what I mean?
Maybe
You gotta be you.
It was, and when we started, I think we kind of wanted to be that, but
Yeah.
we just realized it's not who you are.
It's not, you know, who I am as a person, and you can hear that within my music, and you should be able to hear that in every artist. You
For
know?
real.
You know, a lot of people cap for sure, but if you have a relatively genuine artist and a personality, you can usually hear that
tell,
through the music. You know,
For
I
real
find
though.
50 Cent's really good at that.
Oh,
Lots of
they're
artists,
the best.
yeah, he's the best. Like everything he
Whatever.
says, I believe it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I believe it. I'm like, yeah.
I do think there is a place for entertainment in music, though.
There is,
a lot
for
of shit
sure.
I listen to.
Absolutely.
I know the stories aren't real.
No.
You know, because you put yourself in that frame of mind of that artist, like, oh, they talked about X, Y, Z. I want to live that, or
They
in the
embellish-
moment I'm
embellish
turning
a
up,
lot.
I want to live
Yeah.
that, right? But I think there's a time and a place, right?
Yeah.
I think you got to tell your story and be real, especially in rap. But I think there's certain type of music and a certain level of entertainment that is there too. And I think it's okay to write songs for other people too, and them to put themselves in that position, even if you weren't there. But I do think like there's obviously a level where you don't want to be too fictitious, I guess.
Yeah.
It's really the best. I think the best stuff that you make is literally what you're thinking and feeling and going through at the moment.
It could just be a
Because,
mood too, right? Or
for real.
something like that, which I think I like that type of shit too, right?
For real.
Turn up music, I love it. Sometimes.
100%.
Crazy. Like,
Even if it's not a real story, sometimes.
But I feel like-
I
I feel
real
like-
shit too. You got. I like.
Yeah,
depends on the artist.
I feel like you gotta make the turn up shit when you want to turn up. Like even
gotta
like
be
there's
in that
there's been times
mind.
where we'll be making like a dance track and it's hype and it's like there's some ass shaking music
Yeah.
and I'm like I'm just not there right now, bro. I wanna
I want to write some chill shit.
I wanna like I'm just not at that place of like. Then I start thinking, like, what do I say to make girls want to shake their ass? And it's like that's not where you should be coming
how you
from.
should write the
That's
song.
not how you should make the song. Yeah,
Come from a
Yeah.
mind that you actually
exactly, man.
I agree
Yeah,
with you totally.
you got to get a few beers in you before you write those songs. You know.
And you
Yeah.
know, if you're not in that mood, you're not in that mood.
Exactly.
Yeah, my writing process is just fucked. Like I hear all these people like they're like, yeah, when the moon,
Freestyle.
when the moon's a blood moon and the stars are out, and like, all this shit. You know what I mean? Like they have this
Yeah.
fucking weird hippie process. And I'm like, honestly, let's listen to a beat. I'll write 6 bars, and then I'm like, well, how does my voice sound on a sad beat? And then I'll write another 6 bars on a completely different beat. And then sit there, you know what I mean? You just have I'll just write to a bunch of different beats and nothing will ever get fucking finished, you know what I mean? But I'm definitely
Some of
yeah.
So you're more analytical, like you're always kind of wondering, like maybe this would sound better or something like that.
My thing is mainly, I've always been an advocate for your voice. I feel like for me as a listener, you need to have a good voice. And
100%.
Your voice needs to sit on those beats.
You got a dope voice. Your voice.
Thank you very much.
It is,
Appreciate
but you
it.
haven't found-
So do you
in
too,
my
man.
opinion, you haven't found the right beats yet, though.
Yeah.
I can hear something
That's
in your
true.
voice. Or
Tone is important.
For real though, I like my whole thing is like this last album I did was a deluxe. It was supposed to be a deluxe as the last album, so it was all like themed around that. And then I started making that when I was like 15.
So it's old.
So it's old and it's like from when I was like 15 and I'm like, it was all like kind of trap and like EDM mixed with Travis Scott type shit.
So
But
you
now I'm
kinda
like,
bounce it a bit.
yeah,
It's okay.
and then
You find yourself.
yeah, and then now I'm like, I want like live drums and more like guitars and stuff like that. So
Real,
like,
rock.
yeah,
Yeah, bro,
So
that
you're
shit's
totally
dope.
right. I still have a lot of room to experiment with different
Oh,
stuff.
yeah,
Yeah.
bro.
Well, look at how old Energy Thief is. We just put it out in December, and it's
Dude.
Some of the songs are 5 years old.
I recorded
For real?
I recorded
Yeah.
Energy Thief in 2016.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, and
Was
it's
it 2016?
still so dope.
Up until probably like 19, 20, 21.
So dude, like yeah, like
So you got a vault.
so when I was like yeah, Energy Thief. Every song, the newest song on that
Groundwork.
is Groundwork.
Yeah.
I wrote that when I was 23 years old.
It's probably, and I'd say it's probably the best one.
Thank you, I appreciate
Definitely.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
that. I like yeah,
Banger.
it's good. But
It was a good choice for the single. Yeah, for real.
Thank you.
yeah, it was funny,
Well,
man.
getting Mime on there is...
That was
Yeah.
that was a fucking roller coaster of emotions. That one, like just
Oh, my God.
so
man.
much behind the scenes shit. You
Good and bad.
good and bad, and like anyways, we made it work. And
Came out and
If you-
shout out
worked
to
out.
mine, man. He's on
For real though, if you don't mind me asking, what do you think was the what was it about that song that made it pop off compared to the other songs? More than the other songs.
Straight up.
Mime?
Having a big artist on your song,
For real.
when you send it to a playlist curator,
Yeah.
they already know him.
Yeah.
They
It's-
want it. They want
And
it.
like,
Yeah.
like the thing is too, like
Straight
that, and like
That's so
None of the
true.
other songs have
Not to
translated
toot my
quite
own
like
horn.
that. Some have done okay, but
not too much
That's the
horn,
one.
but like I competed with them pretty well.
Oh no, you did great. Yeah. Like, and that's yeah.
I think like a lot of people, they think that they can just go get a big artist and their shit's gonna pop off like
No.
that.
definitely seen it go the other way.
We've
before.
yes, absolutely.
You just blow your money and then they make you look bad. Yeah.
Exactly. And then, well, the feature artist looks bad too because it didn't translate for their
No.
Yeah.
part of the song, right? Or their
For real.
He was talking about earlier about finding your audience and really tapping into
Yeah.
that. We knew mine. I don't know what she was
We
saying.
knew his audience.
I
At
knew
the
his,
time.
his audience would fuck with us.
I do a lot.
real,
of,
though.
I do a lot of research. Like,
Yeah.
100%.
every day.
Yeah, like you can't just get any feature. It's got to be someone that aligns. You know.
We heard a song with one of our other homies that he had, Swisha T, and I loved it. And I was like, "Yo, man, what do you think?" Like he recorded groundwork. I was like, "Yo, I think we need to do some features and collabs and stuff. What do you think?" Like
For real.
this song, do something similar to it, kind of, and then hit him up.
For
And
real.
he was down. He was already a fan of Cavy before that, actually.
That's dope.
Yeah,
That's big.
It's funny because he was like,
Network. That was networking right there. Like that happened
For real.
because we knew a guy that was an established rapper. He was friends with Mime. And
Wait, so Swisha?
Swisha T. Yeah.
Damn, that's dope. I do. Yeah, he's bigger,
Yeah,
right?
I brought him back in
That's dope.
2015. I booked his tour out here, and we brought him.
Damn.
shout out
Saw
to Swish,
Rock
man.
Kevin.
That was good
Good
times,
dude.
man.
Good
Fucking
dude. dope.
Out of the pad.
Nothing but love for him. Yeah, man.
Yeah,
So
That's fire.
so because he, kind of through networking with him, meeting him, doing the tour, with his like manager agent at the time, who's a good friend of mine, meeting them, then through him we met Mime because Swisha showed Mime Cavy,
That's
and
dope.
then from there he was a fan of Cavy. We were
Dope
a fan
shit.
of him. Just
That's
worked.
history.
Yeah, man.
That's dope. Congratulations again on that, boys. Yeah, for real.
So much.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. Like it's funny. Like we met Swish, like
2015, I think.
yeah, so 6-7 years ago, whatever. it
Wow.
is. And it's funny how those
7, 8, yeah.
connections like
Stay with you.
stay with you, and because of that, like Swish showing Mime, and then Mime being a fan, and next thing you know, they got 7 years.
Now we're a
later.
fan of mine. Mine's one of my favorite
7
rappers.
years later, we have
For
a,
real.
we have a song together, and he's a pretty fucking massive artist, man. You know what I mean? Like
For real.
so he's
He has hundreds of millions of streams now.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy, man.
That's dope. I personally didn't know about him until I heard the song, but it's
Yeah.
like, yeah. But then I saw like there was like YouTube channels like with like million subscribers posting and shit, and, like, and I'm sure that was like you probably reached out to them, but having Mime on it probably was good.
It's all the difference.
Some
Yeah.
of them even reached out to us.
Yeah,
And that's
we've
dope.
had channels like that reach out to us. I've reached out to them.
And that's great.
Yeah.
I heard somebody say like as a music marketing influencer guy, and he said that collaborations are the number one
They are.
best marketing tool right now. Because
100%.
and especially like even like whenever like you doing all the promo for the song, you would probably like tag his account on
Everything.
Instagram. On his Spotify account will be linked to the song.
Now let's link to the song. You go on his radio, second song, and there's groundwork.
Exactly.
Spotify radio.
For real though.
That's
That's huge. And then yeah, so now the algorithm will push all of your stuff to him, to his fans, and vice versa.
Fans get Cavy and yep.
For real. And even he
Yeah,
benefits from it.
We got a
Yeah.
pretty big like Europe fan base right now.
That's great.
From that.
Man, yeah,
That's dope.
Kind of cool.
It was like really when the song first came out. That's when that push you're noticing followers and stuff like that from
yeah.
Europe and stuff. It was really cool to see that.
That's dope.
Never saw it before, but we got a big feature coming though. I'm not gonna say who it is, but
It's Drake, no.
we got a really big feature coming. I would
I'm
say
excited
it's
for
really
it.
big.
Yeah, fucking massive. Yeah,
It's a good one.
I'm excited for it.
Know him,
It'll be the
probably.
biggest feature.
We can tell you off camera.
yeah.
Yeah, okay, yeah. That's cool.
Yeah, people who are listening who give a fuck.
Hopefully you'll like it.
Oh,
Songs
I'll tell
go.
you.
Big things coming. It's Eminem, right?
Man, of course. He's fucking massive.
That's great.
And one of my
Godzilla
one of my
Part Two.
idols.
Yeah,
One of my idols
same
for
here.
sure. So and
That's great.
yeah.
Hell yeah.
Anyways,
Congratulations on
shouts
that.
out the island and everything too in the
Yeah,
verse. I love that.
Damn.
I love that.
There you go.
You know,
For
what
real,
I'm
though.
talking about, like, you know, even though that only means so much, but putting the island on the map, you know, just hearing, you know, someone that you look up to and someone of that magnitude shout out where you're from, you feel like validated almost.
For real, though.
I say, like, fuck that old island boy. I'm the real island boy. Fuck that. I swear to God.
Island boy.
I fucking hate that.
Well, everyone
I
does.
want to fucking strangle those
It's
twerps.
funny.
It's funny as fuck, but
You're
yeah.
hilarious.
Fucking Christ, man.
They had their fun.
Man, they should have dropped something right then and capitalized. You know what I mean?
That's what it is.
Because now their momentum's dead. Nobody gives a fuck about them anymore. You know?
Exactly. They're done. Right?
A lot of that, man. A lot of that. Like, and you see that even with local artists.
It's hard to follow up your best stuff though. I think like honestly it is, but you just have to do something that's exciting.
For real, once you drop the Island Boy, I mean, you can't top that, right? No, I know what you mean, though. Yeah, I know what you mean. But
It's funny, man. Like how many artists. I mean, going back to like why don't you release more? Oh, cause sorry, I just don't shit out fucking hits, bro.
Well,
like
that's
it
the thing.
takes
If you make
fucking
good music,
time.
it takes time.
Yeah.
If you really write it, like there's artists that get into the booth and they just freestyle everything, right?
Yeah.
If you're an artist that wants to write shit, like your pen game's good and lyrical, then it takes time, right? It's not. It's not
it
over.
does, man.
Yeah, I think like you can't.
You can only do that so much until it's
Yeah,
Yeah.
bro. And like
my thing, and this is something I always wanted to touch on, is I think it is good to, as an artist, when you're developing, you're newer and smaller, to release as much as you can and consistently. My thing is though, for example, if you're an artist, you put a song out every week, every month. Personally, I'm not going to listen to everything.
no.
I'm gonna get bored.
fuck
Even
that.
unless you're my favorite artist, which there are a few that put out music frequently and love them. I'll listen to everything, but that's because they're my favorite artist. If you're not my favorite artist, I don't want to listen to everything. So some of those releases are gonna fall to the wayside, and not your whole audience won't hear it. And really, in my opinion, you want to capitalize on your audience as much as you can. The majority of them as much as you can when you put a release out, right? You don't say you have like 2,000 fans. You don't want just like 200 to hear it, right? You want everyone to hear it as much as possible. So I think like spreading those releases out is good. Obviously, also with pitching to Spotify editors and algorithms, stuff like that, you got to space that out, at least monthly as well to really hit. Because I think you can only pitch every 28 days to Spotify. But just for me, like when I see an artist put out shit all the time, I worked with artists that have done it, and no shade to them. I just personally, I don't think it's a formula that works with the algorithm on Spotify. Also with your fan base, I think it will get saturated and they're gonna get bored.
there's gonna be a lot of
There's a few artists,
a lot of haters on that comment. Right?
No, it's so true, though. It's so true.
I think it's good to be consistent because you that's how you get new fans too, right? You got to drop shit to gain new fans.
Yeah.
And I think it keeps people captivated and excited, but you can't do too much. And if you do, you're
man.
just.
But you know what though, man, and I say it like,
saturated.
hey, listen, I think everyone can attest this. Russ is amazing, bro.
Oh yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
But
Not everyone can be him.
not everyone can be him, and I hear
is
so many fucking artists. Well, Russ did it this way. That's fucking Russ,
That's Russ.
bro.
Yeah.
You know what
It
I
took
mean?
a while
Like,
to get on too. I think.
Your path is different than Russ's
100,
path.
and
Yeah.
you know what?
You got to find your path.
He's
Yeah.
very good, very fucking talented. Work for him, hey.
It does work for some people, for
Works
sure.
for some
Yeah.
people,
Of
but like
course. Most of them are more established, though. If you're more
more
established,
established.
you can do it more. I feel like
they're
Yeah.
fine tuned. They have the brand.
That's
They
how I
have
see
the
it.
looks. They have the fucking. Everything's
They got
but-
They have the mixing down. They have the studio. Da da da. Like
You got
yeah.
a good engineer.
Like,
Yeah.
it's
You got
not
the
just
marketing. You got the content.
All of it.
just follow the fucking blueprint and think it's gonna pop off.
It doesn't work
you
for
know?
everyone. Everyone has their own path.
It's
right?
similar to like how I can listen to an artist and maybe my favorite artist is Nas. Now I listen to Hobson or J. Cole or Logic, whatever, and I can take something from all of them and put it into my style, right?
Yeah.
That's how I feel you should look at like blueprints for how to succeed in music. You can't
Take
fucking
inspiration.
read the whole
Develop your own
thing.
style
You
through
get-
inspiration, yeah.
Exactly, and
Yep.
I think we've done a very good job.
You've done
of
that. You've
yeah.
done that for sure.
And I
You have.
that's what I believe in, man, because I cannot. Sorry, I'm gonna sound like a dick, but there's so many fucking idiots who just like listen to like people like Russ, who's amazing, and they're like,
He is.
He is. He's fucking incredible.
But
And
not everyone's going to be him.
not everyone's gonna be.
Find
him,
your
bro.
own kind of way to do
It
it.
just-
Yeah.
It bugs
See what
me.
works for you and stick with that.
You're
I guess.
fucking
For real.
yourself by like thinking that. You know what I mean?
For real.
And if you don't find what works with you, keep trying to fucking hit the
trying.
dart at the board, right? So
Yeah. And I'm not saying don't listen. Like I said,
Yeah.
I mean,
It can work for some.
It can work for some, but take certain things out of their blueprint and try to apply it to what you're doing, but don't take the whole fucking thing.
And I think experimenting is important too. Like if you experiment like a song a week, and then after 2 months you go, you know what, my last song got 2 plays. You know what I mean? Like
if you're
for
giving
real.
people too much, it's not exciting anymore.
No, and
I do think some platforms like TikTok are good for that though, and like
Yeah.
YouTube Shorts. You got to be consistent if you're
Yeah.
going to hit algorithm, like get
Yeah.
those real views and stuff.
And
But
with
that's
that,
good, like
yeah.
putting out songs on all the DSP platforms, like I don't know, it can work or it can. It depends on who you are as an artist. If you have 800,000 monthly listeners, you're probably okay. But if you only have like 800 or whatever, you know, putting a song out every week may not work.
For real, I heard like every 2 months is around kind of the sweet spot.
I think that's good too.
Yeah.
Every month, 2 or 3. Yeah.
For a song?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
That is actually what your sweet spot is.
Yes.
Doesn't always
Yeah,
work like that, but
that's what I've been experimenting with, recently.
you
Yeah,
find it's working.
it is, but I like it's getting people excited. But I haven't like really gone in on the promotion for myself yet. The next few singles I'm looking though to get like quality music video, quality all this stuff. But
helps.
we'll see what happens.
Focus on the song, man, too. Like,
Yeah,
I agree. That's the first thing.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
What I think people should really hone in on is just make the best music you possibly
Oh
can.
my god,
Yeah.
bro.
Quality over quantity, just my opinion. And if you do, it will sell itself.
Yeah,
Be dead
for real.
set on something, bro. I didn't tell you how many times I've been so fucking stubborn. He'd be like, dude, this ain't it. And I'd be like, fuck you, it is it. I know it is. It's like, no, it's not. And then, like, oddly enough, 4 months later, listen back to it, I'm like, yeah, you were right.
It was good.
Yeah.
And it's not it. You know what I mean? Like,
It's true.
You, like, take some time.
Just be happy with whatever you put out, though, at the end of the day. As long as you're happy, that's number one. Happiness is number one in life, in my opinion. But, yeah, I mean, if you're putting good shit out, you can, a year or two later, go back and still love it. And it has replay value. Man,
That's the
where
big
it is.
thing.
Replay
Yeah,
value,
replay value, bro.
And it's hard to get
That's where it is.
and it's hard to get a full album like that because like where I'm at now, I finally go back to my album and go like even like my last album, I'm very proud of it. I'd say like
Yeah, it's good. I listened to it. It's good.
thank you. Like I'd say like 6 or 7 out of the 10 songs I think have the replay value, but there's like 3 or 4 that I'm like I should have done this.
Yeah, we have that on our shit.
And even
We're
like
going to be 100% happy.
no, and like I think
We're going to pick out our flaws first.
for real, I'm sure Stevie Wonder listened to like the greatest songs he ever made and gone, I should have turned, I should have played, I should have turned up the drums a little bit, like it happens, right? But
That's
the process.
We're artists, man. And like we're all creatives here, and we're gonna be very, very analytical to everything.
Critical. And,
For real.
That's just how it is. That's human.
for real though.
But yeah.
Quick question for you, Jotto.
Brother.
We spoke recently about skills. What type of skill set do you think a manager should have?
Great question, for real though.
First one, in my opinion, organization is very important. Because if you're helping someone in the back end, everything being organized is going to make your life easier, make the artist's life easier, and anyone else that you're working with, whether it's a platform or other artists and things like that. I think if you're organized, by default, you'll come off professional, and I think by default, that will allow you to get better opportunities. So that's a big one. Good work ethic, be hungry. You got to be hungry. You got to, understand, or if you don't understand the lane that you're in or kind of the audience or network that you're in, then figure out how to understand it, I guess.
Create your opportunities. That's always a big one.
That's a good one.
We don't look
create your own
for,
opportunities.
We don't go looking for opportunities, and that's one thing he's taught me. He's always like
They don't fall in your lap either.
He doesn't take vacations. He's out in fucking like it could be Cuba or wherever, and he's fucking on a laptop, fucking messaging.
Yeah.
Like he's looking for the opportunity, man. He's trying to
or whatever. That's what I'm always doing. Yeah.
We don't expect the opportunity to come.
It's not gonna fall in your lap. You have to know where to look for it, and you have to be willing to not be afraid to pitch your artist or your whatever you have, and not be afraid to have people hear it and hopefully be a fan of it. And if they are, you're going to keep growing. But yeah, I think organization is a big one. Understanding your audience, your network. I mean, depending on what you're doing for the artist, right? Different managers do different stuff. Like I'm kind of a marketing guy more than anything. That's kind of my thing. That's my background. So what I went to school for, marketing, advertising, and management. So I do a lot of that.
You guys both have that in common, actually.
Really? I didn't know. Oh,
yeah. I dropped out after 8 months when I was 17.
Tried it out.
Yeah.
So
fuck this.
I am
17.
Yeah. There you go.
Wow. You went to college at 17?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, it would have been. I would have turned 18 in November.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not for everybody, man.
Definitely.
Oh man,
I think college
we
is
had just
good,
dropped
but
like
you
the
gotta- it's
fucking
good to
country
try.
roads at the time, and like I thought like and it was popping off locally. I sucked ass at the
We
time.
were playing some shows.
I had like Justin Bieber hair and shit like that, so all the women loved me. It was fucking amazing, but they didn't actually like my music.
They liked his image more than anything.
like my.
That's the problem I have, man. It's like everybody,
Yeah, you got-
Jack Harlow.
Oh, yeah, Jack
No, I'm just
You got
playing.
the hair. So.
I'm
I
just
tell you
playing.
though, that was the most. After that show, I was like, yeah, I'm fucking destined for this shit. That was good. North River, fuck man.
Yeah, we had an album release show, and I think it did well. I think there were like 100 people.
Yeah,
there. Like,
fucking
sold a lot of merch. Like probably sold a few hundred merch that night.
Yeah,
That's
You're
great,
17, 18. That's good, right?
bro. That's like the whole world right there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Popping off after that.
Yeah.
You were, man. We were.
It was good locally.
I remember because I picked up show
Even
Jay
in Halifax,
Forbes,
I
man.
had like promoters hitting me up. They're like, "Yo, I want to book Cavy." Like we did a show, or we did 2 or 3 in Halifax. One of them was just some dude found us and wanted to put us on a showcase.
Yeah.
Never had that really before with you, right?
That's
So
awesome.
No,
We're doing our thing.
Yeah.
So as a manager, do you promote yourself as a manager, or how do people get to find about you?
Not really, because like to be honest, well, I do a lot of stuff. To be honest, and I don't really talk about it, but I do a lot of stuff. You know, I started as a drummer, so that's in my blood. I'll always love drums, and I still play in a band. It's kind of a fun thing I do. It's called Trading Post, so it's like an alt rock band. So we do that. We're recording an album right now. It's dope.
That's awesome.
Thank you. So I'm doing that, and then obviously artist management and marketing. In that, you know, I'm working with him. I've worked with some other artists in the past. Currently, he's the only one that I manage. I do some marketing for some other people as well. Do marketing campaigns, digital marketing campaigns, and I also do photo and video content. Mostly video. Shoot music videos. I've done a few since I really started getting into it a year or two ago. So I kind of what I put out there more for me is like promoting the artists I'm working with rather than myself, because I feel like if you're behind an artist, that's what you should be representing, because that's the thing that you want to grow most, because that's where the opportunities are going to come from. You know, I might get opportunities to get booked to do, you know, a video shoot or a photo shoot or whatever, or do a marketing campaign for someone. That's great. I love doing that stuff, but I see the long game with working with artists that actually create a career where it's sustainable, honestly, which that's what you need if you want to keep going. So I don't really put myself out there like that. I mean, you know, I do say I'm a manager and a marketer, and
But it's kind of like if you know, you know. Like if you start getting invested in like Cavy on social media, like you'll see your name pop up.
everything
Yeah.
that he's doing, I'm posting about it, right?
Exactly,
Not
yeah.
everything, but a lot, right? Because
Yeah.
I want to promote him. I want to promote what we're working on, what he's working on. Same with other artists. If I work with them, I'm going to share their stuff, right? But for me, I'm not really out there being like, yo, I'm a manager, I'm doing this, doing that.
Yeah.
Like, maybe some behind-the-scenes stuff every now and then. But I'm more, for me, with putting myself out there, let's say, you know, obviously the easiest way to do that now is social media. More so promote my lifestyle, right? And the shit that I'm into. I love, like, caffeine, rare snacks and stuff like that. I love food. So I like promoting that stuff because that's who I am. But outside of that, music is everything to me. It's what I do and it's what I've done for the last 10, 15 years. So I'm going to promote that, but more so in the way of I want to uplift the artists that I represent, the people that I work with, because that's what it's all about is, you know, getting them on. That's going to help me continue to get on, right?
For real though.
Kind of how I do it. I also DJ weddings with my dad, and I have a DJ business. So that's kind of, you know, one of the things that keeps me pretty busy.
He ain't fucking lazy, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, for real though.
Out here for sure.
He ain't
You
fucking
and I,
lazy.
And also, I'll say this too, because it's not something I talk about. I also produce music too. I don't really make beats, but I'm in the studio, man. You know, give the best performances too.
But sorry. I was just gonna ask,
okay.
would it still be recorded?
yes, they're good.
Okay.
Okay.
Are we all
Yeah,
good?
we're all good.
Yeah, so I'm doing that shit too. Me and him, you know, when he's working on music, he'll bring the songs, and I'll kind of bring ideas to it too. And
Yeah.
That's dope.
Having that background in music as a songwriter in the bands that I was in, and as a drummer, I like bringing that to my artists too. And other artists I worked with as well have done the same. I'll be like, yo, why don't you try this in the mix, or why don't you try this in your performance take, or whatever. And even, you know, I would consider myself a producer because helping structure songs and things like that, something I've done. That's where I came from, is making music and writing. And since I was 14, I'm 30 now, so half my life I've been making music. So
Jack of all trades.
that experience, yeah, I would say so.
Yeah.
But you know, I have things that I like more than others, so that's what I try and focus on.
Yeah. That's great.
Thank you.
You and I got a lot in common. Drama,
You do a
marketing.
lot of shit too, right?
Yeah, man.
Exactly.
DJ.
This guy's always just like 9 in the morning. Oh, where's Chev? Oh, like he had this meeting to go to with this. And I'm like, I don't even know what you're doing.
Just you
Very
gotta go
similar
out and get
people
it,
love
man.
that. Hell yeah,
It's
respect
hustler mentality, bro.
I was gonna say, do you want to come up a little bit? I don't know if you're in the view of the camera right now. You might be, but I just realized that we're really far apart now. Damn.
Yeah, it's all good.
I'll ask you guys a question. Where do you guys? You've been around here for a little bit. What have you seen change in the hip hop scene, or I would say in music in general in PEI?
I gotta be honest, and I gotta be careful when I answer this. I'm a nice dude, man.
Yeah,
Fucking
he
I
is.
am. I'm
He
a
is.
nice guy,
He
but
really
like,
is.
I don't really pay attention to a lot of stuff locally, and that's just the honest.
You gotta have the blinders on, you know.
It's not because I don't fuck with anyone. It's just I don't fuck with anyone. You know
Well,
what I mean? Like
for
it's
me,
just like it's.
I'm a music fan first, so just because you're a local artist doesn't mean I'm gonna support everything you do, right? You gotta be dope. Like,
Yeah, like you
Yeah.
honestly, a lot of people hit me up and like, if I don't feel your stuff, like, it is what it is, right? So
And it's
Yep.
not that like I think I'm fucking better than anyone. Not
at all, no.
My focus is just not there. Like, if you were to message me, I'd be a little bit different. I'd be like, yeah, for sure. Like, if
Yeah.
I know you, and
Yeah.
like,
yeah,
and,
or get to know someone.
yeah, like,
Meet
and we're,
someone,
like we're friends. And if
network,
you
yeah.
wanted me to check some shit out, or you
Yeah,
want
of
to,
course.
like,
Hold
Give me feedback.
Just like what you were saying, like it's so true. Like whenever horses are at like a horse race, right? They gotta wear the blinders because if they see the horse beside them, they'll fuck up and trip.
And that's what everyone's doing around here, man. On Twitter, everyone's fucking focused on what this guy's doing, what's that guy's doing, and you know what?
We don't need the dramas.
My competition is not my fellow local artists, man.
It's yourself.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
There you go.
Like,
There you
why
go.
the
Yeah.
fuck do I want that?
You want to keep getting better than your last thing that you did.
Bro,
Right?
Yeah.
my focus is not local, man. It never has been.
No.
Gotta be bigger.
You know, I hear people through the grapevine like, "Why didn't you come out the show?" Or "Why blah blah blah." I'm like, dude,
Busy. I have a life.
I have a fucking life, man.
For
like,
real.
It's
Maybe this is a job, but your job is not your entire life. You have a life outside of that. You got
Man.
family, friends.
And also, people will say that, and they won't like, and they wouldn't have even invited you. They're just like you should have known.
And
Yeah.
if they invite you,
Yeah.
you might show
Expecting
up.
you to.
I'm the kind of guy, bro. Like, if and more than anyone, if you, especially if it's face to face,
Yeah.
if you come up to me and say, "I would really enjoy you to come through," or "I want you to check out," I will do that.
Yeah.
Because
long as
do you
you
know how
can.
many fucking messages and shit on Facebook and Instagram and throughout the run of a day? I'm not keeping up. Like, I'm
No.
not.
Me too.
It's
Yeah.
not happening, bro. Like I said, it's not that I don't.
He doesn't keep up, but I do.
Yeah,
With my
it's-
shit.
yeah.
That's the manager's job right there. You know.
Yeah, but it's
There you
fucked, bro. And it's like my focus is just it's just
Too
not
busy,
it's
right?
not there. So like if you want me to come to a show or you want me to support your shit, ask me because I got too many fucking things on my timeline as it is. A lot of it
Yep.
gets buried. I think you had a show and I didn't even see any promo for it. You know what I mean? Because like
Just didn't see it.
how many fucking
Yeah.
Algorithm, right?
rappers I have online promoting their show?
Oh,
in
bro.
Ontario,
Thousands of
It's
people.
crazy.
Hundreds, I mean.
That's why you got to knock. Like we were talking about this before, like knocking on doors. You got to knock on doors at this point because like
Exactly.
if you put on your story, "Hey, go listen to my song," people go,
Yeah.
What's the next thing on?
Yeah, but if-
I want to see something more entertaining.
Yeah, but if you hit up Steve and say, "Hey, Steve, listen to my song,
Make it
please,"
personal.
yeah, and then they'll go,
man.
and then they'll go, "Oh, 100%, yeah,
You do that,
yeah."
bro. You need to do that.
Definitely been doing that.
If you don't go exactly knocking on doors, and what we call it.
Yeah, door to door. We always say
Door to
we
door.
had to go door to door for a while. We don't do
Yeah.
as much now, but
No, but door
Maybe
to
every
door.
now and then,
If
you know?
if you're an artist and you're working with a manager and you guys are doing this independently and you are not sitting there messaging people who you think your friends and family to share your shit and
or
branch
support
out
or come out to the
or
show or
whatever.
listen to my song.
You're not
whatever.
personally doing that, and like I'm not saying like. A lot of people get fucked up. They'll write the same message out, but it looks like you're just trying to sell them
Copy
something.
and paste it.
You know what I
Yeah,
mean? It's like,
yeah.
dude, you need to like.
You were saying, hey, Steve,
it's-
like use their name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Steve, brother, how you been? It's been a minute, dude. I'm just wondering if you can, show some love on my new track. Give me your opinion. You kind of got to write something, and it takes a lot of time. You got to write something a little
Personal,
different for everyone. It takes a lot more time.
For
and
real.
I guarantee you,
If
get
you put
better
effort in, though,
response.
you'll get it.
You will
Get it back.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Anyways, and
The
when it
local
comes to the
music
music
thing,
thing,
though, like, I'm a music listener first, so if I there's so much competition with music, so I could go listen to the new Roderick Porter track instead of you because I fucking love Roderick Porter.
Yeah.
Like when I say you, I don't mean you. I mean if
I know what you mean.
local artist
Yeah,
put a new
yeah,
song out,
yeah.
maybe I'm not gonna. I only have so much time in the day.
There's like 80,000 new songs a day. Like yeah, yeah,
So I
Everyone's
gotta find the
doing
time to
music,
listen to
man.
what I want to first, and then maybe
Yeah.
if I get the chance, I'll listen to someone else.
100%.
If they want to hit me up to do business, different. But
Yeah.
can't hear everything.
When-
Got
no.
life outside of it.
No.
Any artist and anyone who knows me, man, like I'm chill, man. Like you sent me shit and it's personal, and I know that you genuinely want me to check it out or whatever. I'll do that.
Yep.
90% of the time, at least. And like I said, it's nothing to do like I don't really show my personality a whole lot through social media. You know what I mean? Like I really don't.
You're
Like,
not a big social media guy.
No, I'm really
not.
not.
Too much.
No.
Yeah.
It's not really your thing.
So, but like so I feel like people might have this preconceived notion that maybe I do think I'm better than everyone and whatnot because I am. I'm just joking.
Rapper attitude, eh?
But no, but it's not even. It's just a lot of the time I just don't see the shit.
Yeah.
I'm very invested in what we're doing.
Even for me though, I check out everyone just because at least once because I want to see what they sound like.
Yeah.
They're dope, whatever. But support it. But that doesn't mean I can always listen to every new thing. Like I was saying earlier,
No.
consistent releases, can't hear everything. And like when music is like a big part of your life, you don't always want to be listened to when you're sitting at home on the couch.
For real though, because it's like work.
It's hard to find time, but
There'll be times, man, like, it's funny, like, I might not like this local artist, but I'll pop on randomly. I'll pop on his album.
check it out.
And I'll check it out.
See what it's like.
Yeah.
When I'm driving, and I'll be like, I don't like you as a fucking person, but this is dope. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I'll never tell you that I listen
Fair
to your shit. But, you know,
Yeah.
enjoy the streams for sure. You know what I
For
mean?
real though, man.
But I do that shit, so.
For real.
All right, so before we wrap things up, from each of you, I want you to leave our guests with 2 most positive, valuable life lessons that you could give from the past 30 years you've been living and the past
Great
26
question.
years you've been living.
Oh man, I would say that's a really good question, bro. I think always follow your heart and always do the right thing. Always focus on what makes you happy. You know, don't sacrifice that. Really, I mean, there are times you might have to sacrifice that, but I think, you know, you got to follow your heart and follow whatever you're passionate about, whatever you love. You have to do it to whatever capacity you do it. But I think happiness is definitely the key in everything, personally. And until you're happy, you can't be your full, true self, I guess. That'd be one. Really, that's my main one. Just do what you love, I guess. You know.
Do what fulfills you.
Yeah, do what fulfills you. Do what makes you
For
happy. And you know, if you feel like you have a destiny or a path that you're meant to be on, just fucking go for it and give it your all. And you know, if you do, you never know what might happen. You know, I've gotten crazy opportunities in my life I never thought I would. And you know, whether I was, you know, 17-year-old me was like fucking over the moon, or even now, it's like you see things happen, you're just like, wow, I can't believe this happened. And if you follow your path, it'll happen eventually. Work hard. Work ethic is so important.
For real.
Yeah, you gotta have a good work ethic if you're gonna do anything, especially in creative space, because there's so much competition. When I say competition, there's so many other people doing it.
Yeah.
So happiness, and just doing what you love, following your path, man. You know, and just work ethic, work hard, and fucking go for it. You know?
There you go. That's a great
Thank
answer.
you for sharing that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And as for me, a little quote I heard.
Smoke cigs.
Average people talk problems, and great people speak solutions.
That's how
There
it
you
go.
go.
That's how
I
it
mean,
go.
it's true though, and like
Yeah.
that's definitely a thing, man. The last, especially my 20s, I've been very guilty for, you know, why has this happened to me? You know what I mean? The world's against me. You gotta be fucking careful of those kind of people in this world. The world's against
So
them.
true.
Say, man, you.
The world's against all of us, motherfucker. Like,
You are in
It's a
control,
terrible place,
man.
but it's a beautiful
You're
place,
more in
too.
control than you think you are, and I believe in you know, manifesting. He's been big on that, and
Yeah.
he's kind of got me manifesting, making dreams come to reality. Not to sound too cliche, but don't take things serious, but you know, make time for family and friends, and have fucking good.
You gotta have a
times.
good balance. I'm a
Yeah.
Libra, so it's all about balance, and like, that's important.
And don't be afraid to try new shit. And if you're gonna fucking do something, don't fucking half-ass it. You know what I mean? Like if
Give it everything you can.
and
Work
don't-
hard.
and
Work smart, too.
Probably the last thing, if I was to give any kind of advice, I don't even know if that's really what the question was, is don't fucking jump from project to project to project to project. You know?
That's some self-advice,
Yes, focus on one thing. You'll be so much happier.
so
with
true. That's one that we struggle with for real.
Yeah, you'll
It's
be
hard,
so
man,
much
because
happier.
every rapper or artist, like especially rap, oh yeah, I recorded that 2-3 months ago. It's not. I don't like it anymore. I like this new thing better. But you just gotta put out your best
And
shit.
For real.
don't be afraid to swallow your pride, man. A lot of us artists need to shut the fuck up and, you know, use our 2 ears and listen to others. You know what I mean? A lot of the time we're very stubborn people, you know, and we feel like we know what's best, but to be honest, like, we can barely fucking manage ourselves as people, as creatives.
Yeah.
We're fucking crazy, man. All
For
of us.
real, though.
He's fucking crazy. Like, he's a fucking looney tune.
Everyone
Yeah.
knows I'm crazy.
And
Yeah, we're not any different.
You're all crazy. You know,
We're all. You're in good company.
We're all fucked,
Thank you
dude.
for having us in good company.
Yeah.
For real, though.
Anyways, I don't know if that answers the question.
That was a wonderful.
Yeah, man.
I'm gonna remember that. You
Most
know,
definitely.
great people think of solutions.
Sticking to one project at a time definitely relates to me because, man, I be jumping from
Yeah, me too,
every
man.
3 months.
I find myself
That's
miserable whenever I do that, man. Like, I'm
Yeah.
so much more happier. opposed to having like 6 different things on the go when I have one thing that's like fully finished.
Focus is important.
Yeah.
Focus, man.
You really have
For
to
real.
focus. If you don't, then the last thing will get lost.
Yeah.
A lot of the time, not always, but focus.
It's true though.
That's what I mean when I say, say good manager, organized. And another thing I want to mention too, I know the question's right, but this is important, good instinct. That is number one.
Oh,
You
yeah,
gotta have good
bro.
instinct. You gotta trust your guy, you gotta know.
Like in terms
You
of
gotta know what's
reading
good and
people
bad.
and things like
Yeah.
that.
Reading
Yeah.
people, reading opportunities if they're good for you or not, reading situations.
The reality,
That's my
yeah.
fucking bread and butter, bro, straight up.
He's very good at it. And the reality of it is, man, and a lot of people may disagree with me, but a lot of people will only talk to you as if there's something in it for them. And that's
Yeah.
the industry, bro.
So true.
You know what I
If you have a
mean?
genuine connection with someone, though, you gotta fucking...
Yeah, like
Go
that's
for
why I fuck with you guys. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, likewise, man. Yeah.
It's like it's just it's a friend vibe and it's chill, and I respect it. And there's stuff for us to gain, but it's natural. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? It's not like we're trying to use one another. And
Yeah, we're not trying to charge each other or whatever.
help each other,
Yeah.
make it happen.
Belly
For real.
said, man, it's
Good
a
outlet, good
legitimate game of snakes and ladders, bro. Like it's a legitimate game of snakes and ladders.
Belly the GOAT. Gotta put
Yeah,
that out
he
there.
is.
Belly's the greatest
He is.
rapper in the world, in my opinion.
Lyrically, definitely.
Underrated as fuck, that's
Fucking
why I say
underrated, man. That guy's incredible.
For real.
You guys maybe
Belly?
Maybe do.
Bell End.
No, Belly, B-E.
Yeah, okay. I know him a little bit. Yeah.
Jesus,
Belly,
man.
you gotta catch it.
Lyrical, pen game.
Holy
For
fuck,
real.
bro.
He's a little bit before my time, but I know
Yeah,
about him.
he is.
Yeah.
I didn't even get into him until fucking he showed me, and I was like, "This guy is one of the most incredible
I got into rap
rappers."
really because of you. Like I liked 50 Cent and Eminem shit when I was young, but
Yeah,
then
yeah.
I went into like I was saying, I played in a band. I played in bands for many years, toured around shit, and then I got into rap, got into like Kendrick and Logic and shit, and then that made me find so many other artists. But yeah, that's my favorite. And I showed you, and you love it too.
Yeah,
So.
Belly's great, man.
Underrated.
Yeah,
That's dope, man. Thank you so much, guys.
sir.
That was a great time.
Appreciate the
Let's
time.
do it.
Man.
Thank you.
It was an awesome time.
sir.
Yeah, great
Let's
time,
get
man.
it. Let's get it.
Love it.
Let's
Let's
get it.
go.
Crossroads of
Also,
handshakes.
Much respect.
Come to my show, May 25th.
Go May 25th, Trailside.
Let's make it up. Oh,
May
our show.
25th.
Listen, we're gonna sell this bitch out. All right.
Yes, sir.
Trail side.
With your help.
Let's
Like,
get
that
it.
camera's not even on right now, but
Sure help.
Hey,
Well,
camera.
Hell
good
yeah,
shit, boys.
All right, boys.
Make it.
Good shit.
Good time, man.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, boys. That was great.
That was
That was a lot of fun.
You guys